Welcome to the whimsical world of Isabel Angel. In this week's video, we're going to be tackling something that's been bugging me for a while. And I decided that this week was going to be the week that I was going to fix it. So let me show you what I mean by bugging me. So it's this thing. This little switch that's just has no cover. It lights up the outside, and I put some tape on it so that nothing gets in it, but I've never fixed it, and it's been like this for, I swear, 7 years at least. It's next to my grandpa clock that my dad made, and usually I have like this plant that's hiding it. It's on this side usually, but now I want to put my plant on the right side. So the fact that I'm switching my plant, I have to tackle this. I have to make this nice. So we're gonna fix it. And how we're gonna fix it is we're gonna use the cover and sculpt something on it. That's gonna be pretty cool, I think. I hope it works. This is what we're doing this week. We're gonna fix the switch plate. Not the switch, because the switch works, but the plate. And I'm gonna sculpt on it, and hopefully the plastic won't melt in the oven. That would be bad. I should do a test first. Maybe I'll do a test first just to see if the plate's gonna melt in the oven. But this might be the beginning of me redoing all my switch plates in the house. Here's something else to add to the list. But yeah, so that being said, let's get to it. Okay, we're all set. I have my little plate here. I took a beige one because we never like beige one. We never use these anymore. They're so old. I'm going to be using a Super Sculpting Primo because I heard that it's the strongest one. So it should withstand time. We'll try it. If not, I'll know for the next ones. And also, I'll be using cheesecloth. The subject of my switch is a mix between the Reaper and a fortune teller with the crystal ball. And you've guessed it, the crystal ball is not a crystal ball, it's the switch inside. It is going to be small. We shall see. I like to complicate things. Why make it simple when you can make it complicated? But that's what I like. I'm just gonna sand this to start off with, and we're gonna start sculpting. So let's get to it. I am using oven baked clay adhesive so that the clay will really stick to the cover once it's baked. One important thing that you can't forget is making the holes bigger so the head of the screw will have enough space. The difference that I noticed with the Sculpting Primo compared to the Super Sculpting Original is that it's a lot smoother and a bit sticky, kind of in between Super Sculpting and a air dry clay, if that makes sense. I'm really looking forward to see how stronger it will be than the Super Sculpting that I'm used to working with, so we shall see. This is a tiny detail, but I am so used to doing only 4 fingers instead of 5. I don't know why I do 4, but for some reason I always leave out the pinky, and since this hand is so small, it is kind of harder to do 5 fingers. But I really wanted the hand to be a real hand, so that's why I'm making 5 fingers instead of 4. It's less cartoony. Making those little fingernails was so fun. They're just so tiny, I love it. Like I said, this clay is a lot smoother than the Super Sculpey. I feel that the more I played with it, the heat of my hands made it even more smooth. So that made it a bit harder for the hand to just keep its position. Maybe if I had done it with armature wire beforehand, that would have helped to keep the position of the hand, but I thought it would make the hands too bulky. Now that the basic shape is pretty much done, I'm just gonna go over the surface of the clay with a softener. I just use baby oil. It helps to remove all fingerprints and scratches. And now it's time to bake. So it's all baked. It's not quite cooled down, so I'm not going to play around with it too much. But the good thing is that the plastic did not melt, so I'm very happy about that. I wasn't expecting it to melt, but you never know. And it seems to be pretty stuck there, so I don't think there's going to be any problems of it falling off. The only thing is that it did crack a lot. I don't know if it's zooming in. Hello. All right, so you see like the biggest crack there, and there's like a few elsewhere, but I'm not really worried because it's all going to be covered with fabric, so I'm not really worried about it. Usually I would fix it, but for this one, you're not going to see it, so it's just going to be our little secret. The hands are pretty cool. I think there's like one, it's always my problem, there's one hand bigger than the other one. It doesn't matter because the one that looks bigger is going to be kind of hidden a bit. So we're going to let it cool down real good. And in the meantime, I'll be taking my cheesecloth and just cutting strips of it so that I can apply it on the sculpture. So let's get to it. Now that I have my cheesecloth, I will just begin cutting strips and making sure that I like the length of the strip on my sculpture. Once I like the length of my strips, I'll just be cutting a lot more of them, making sure that I have some that will be shorter and different kind of widths too. I also cut the tips so the end will be pointy and not so flat. And now it's time to tint the fabric with some black acrylic diluted in some water. We now have a nice collection of black strips of fabric that we can apply onto our sculpture. The base is painted all black. It doesn't need any more detail since it's going to be covered in fabric, and I'm painting the hands to make them look like they're old. I decided to create an eye that's made out of flame to give it some life. And now the painting is all done. This is what it looks like. I don't know if it's zooming well, but I did the hands kind of creepy and deadish. Dead ends. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it, but the eye, I thought that the screw that's going to go there could be the eye, and it could be something like the eye of sorrow. I know. But yeah, I thought maybe it could be fun. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it that way. Poo always needs to be in the camera. She's losing her hair. She's all mad. She needs to see it on mommy. So next step is taking the little strips of fabric. We're just gonna drip the fabric on there. I'm gonna use Mod Podge. It has a clear matte finish, so when it dries, it makes the fabric a bit hard and stiff, but that's kind of what I want because I don't want it to be all flimsy, so that's fine. It is time to add the fabric, so let's do it. In order to stick the fabric onto the sculpture, all I need to do is dip it in the Mod Podge that I diluted a bit with water so that it's not so thick, and then you just stick it on the sculpture and it stays. Eventually it will dry into a clear matte finish. It is a bit messy and your fingers do get all dirty, but it is a very fun process. The fabric is now pretty much done, and I really like how it's coming out. I felt that something wasn't quite right. The hands were a bit too dead, so I decided to give them some life and adding a bit of gold at the end of the fingers to make them more magical. Adding some colors to the fabric, it will bring it to life and add some magic and mystery to it, making it less morbid. I also decided to change the color of the eye using purple and gold to bring out more a mystical creature. adding a bit of gold on the fabric will also make it a bit more magical and bringing it more into the realm of the mystical than of the dark side. And let's not forget the little screws. And it's done. I can now throw away my paper, my tape. I'm so happy. I really like it. I like how it turned out. It wasn't going in the right direction at first with the colors. It was too dark and I felt like it was too much in between a Dementor and a Nazgul, so that's not what I wanted. I wanted more of a fortune teller mixed with a Reaper, so something kind of magical and mysterious. By adding a little bit of purple and aqua and the gold, it's creepy, but it has something magical in it, and that's what I like. It works well. You have to go easy, like don't rush into it. I like it. Gives it a little whimsy, creepy, magical vibe. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the project and if you want to see more of me customizing other switchblades. I could do all the other switch in my house. And if you want, you can always like and subscribe. That always helps the channel. Until next time, take care. Ciao.